Hi, I'm Naya Calmels from Mindful Movement. I believe that movement is medicine, and today I'm going to be helping you move through your shoulders, through your lower back, and through your hips. Let's begin. Okay, we're going to go into scapular reaches, drawing arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing in towards each other. Starting on the right arm, we'll spiral the pinky side of the hand in, and thumb reaches out as you reach fingertips up towards the ceiling, lifting the right shoulder up off the floor. You'll get a little bit of rotation of the upper spine, and then unwind, bringing the right shoulder back down to the floor, and switch to the left arm, spiraling the thumb out, pinky side of the hand in, reach fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then unwind, drawing the shoulder back down to the floor. And we'll continue here 2 more times on each side. We're externally rotating the head of the arm bone and the shoulder joint, getting a nice stretch to the back of the shoulders. And in a moment, we're going to take this movement a step further by drawing the arms out into a T position. Instead of just doing external rotation, we're now going to rotate the head of the arm internally, take our gaze away, and externally rotate the opposite arm. And then switch to the other side, kind of like you're wringing out a towel. Alternating internal and external rotation of the arm and the shoulder joint, letting the head roll from side to side, staying long through the back of the neck. And as you continue here, you're using your lower abs to keep the pelvis stable, and lower spine, back of the rib cage rooted down into the floor. One more time, and then coming back to center. We'll take our arms down by our sides. I'm going to keep my arms a little bit away from my side body so you can see my lower spine and my pelvis as we go into pelvic tilts. We'll start with a northern tilt of the pelvis. So if you're thinking of directions, head would be north, feet would be south. On your next exhale, lift through the pelvic floor, draw lower abs to spine. As you imprint the spine into the floor, curl the pelvis north like you're trying to tip the pubic bone towards your belly button. And then inhale back to center, and you'll tip the pelvis south like you're trying to tip the pelvis towards the back of the heels. And we'll continue to rock the pelvis back and forth just like you're rocking in a rocking chair. Slow, steady movement, synced with the breath. Exhaling as you curl, and inhaling as you lengthen through the front body, tipping the pubic bone towards the back of the heels. And as you continue here, keep your knees in line with the second toe of each foot. And then we'll come back to center, and we'll go east to west or right to left. So imagine that you have a teeter-totter across the bony landmarks in the front of the pelvis. You're going to allow the right back of the pelvis to dip down heavily into the floor, causing the pelvis to rotate over to the right slightly. And then come back to center, and the back of the left side of the pelvis dips down to the floor and comes back again. You can even take your first 2 fingers, place them on these bony landmarks, and feel that tipping of the pelvis from side to side. As you continue to tip or rotate the pelvis, you want to stay long through the side body. So be mindful of not letting the hip hike up as you're dipping it down towards the floor. We'll do 1 more time on each side. Once again, keeping the knees as steady as possible and in line with the second toe. All right, and now we're going to go into sits bone reaches. So we're going to lengthen through the side body on one side. As a result, the opposite side will start to hike up a little bit. Our focus is on the lengthening to get a stretch through the quadratus lumborum, which is one of the muscle groups at the back of the lower back. So from here, we'll lengthen through the right side as though we're trying to send our right sits bone towards the back of the right heel, getting a lot of length between the base of the rib cage and the top of the pelvis. And then we'll switch to the other side. And your knees will move slightly, but you're trying to keep them as quiet as possible and prevent them from bowing out to the sides. Continuing to sync the movement with your breath. We'll do one more time on each side, reaching right sits bone towards the back of the right heel, and then left sits bone to the back of the left heel. And then come back to center. Okay, so you've just done all this nice work for your body. Be kind to yourself when you're getting up. The best way will be to roll to one side and then come to a comfortable seated position. For me, I like to sit kind of on my heels. That doesn't work for everyone. If you like this position, but you know that your knees don't bend quite so much, you can take a yoga block and just place it right between your legs so that it elevates your pelvis a little bit more. So that's one way of sitting. You might choose something else. You might choose to sit in a chair. You might choose to stay cross-legged or have legs out in front of you. So take a moment now to find your most comfortable seated position. We'll close out together, drawing our gaze inward, closing the eyes, lengthening through the spine, ground down through the sits bones, and imagine a string from the crown of the head drawing you up towards the sky. On your next inhale, sweep arms up overhead as you draw air into the bases of the lungs, and on your exhale, bring palms together and to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for Mindful Movement. I hope that you move mindfully through the rest of your day.